Welcome to Dose of Substance, the podcast for mature minds, self-aware, and bold spirits. Some of the comments may be too hot to handle, so if you can't take it all in at once, take it in doses. Or not bother listen to nothing. Sponsored by Mindsteez Collections and the Substance Music Group.
Greetings. Welcome back to this episode 4 of the Dose of Substance podcast. I am your host, Reynard the Substance Brian. Now, I always just want to open up and say thank you. You know what I mean? We just want to say thanks. One big old thanks. For everybody who just continues to just show love and support. You know, it's go unnoticed. That's that I want to know. I just want you all to know it does not go unnoticed. You know, it's very much appreciated. You know, if I could reciprocate the love, I try my best to in the comment section. If it means a conversation every now and then with, you know, anyone that I've been blessed with the privilege to have that conversation with. So yeah, man, give thanks. So everyone over Instagram, everyone over YouTube, you know, wherever these episodes are blasted and you guys tune into it, I thank you all so very much. You know what I mean? So let me say, do go right ahead right now. Go and subscribe on YouTube. That's YouTube Zine Substance Vivo, SUBSTANCE Vivo. Go and subscribe so you can keep up to date. Go and subscribe so you can keep up to date with all of the material and the contents. Yes? Yeah, man. And if it's Instagram, you're looking for Dose of Substance Podcast. Dose of Substance Podcast. One word. Just type it in and you find me. You know what I mean? So, let me just say big up to my sponsors. Seafood Wagon, Agents of Change, seeing Surepass Institute, BizCare Consulting Group, Jazzy Jules, Sophisticated Dreams, Clap Fashion, seeing I know some more will come on board, but since they're not on board yet, you know, one and a far they give one a big up. You know what I mean? So I guess I'm there with that. No, today's topic is a very sensitive and triggering topic. You know, and it's funny how I came about this topic. Just walking up to my apartment and it just forward to me and I say, I really want to talk about this. And I wasn't aware that it was Suicide Awareness Month, right? I wasn't aware, you know what I mean? And as you can see, based on tonight's topic, I chose to wear this top from Mindsteez Collections, and it says, let's not forget empathy. Let's not forget empathy. And I think that's lacking in this world today. Empathy, you know. In a nutshell, it's the ability to put yourself in one's shoes. Meaning, you can connect with whosoever you're around without verbal exchanges. Yes? Energy, you feel them energy. No, a lot of persons don't really know how to be empathetic. Sympathetic. That's the common approach, you know, if you're sorry for somebody. But practicing empathy goes such a far way, you know. Then if we did activate our empathetic nodes, then some of the things that we say to people would have not been said, and some of the things that we do to people would have not been done, you know. But that's for another show, I guess. You know what I mean? So this topic right here is I just want to shed some light on the topic of suicide. You know, suicide. Is it a selfish act? Is it a weak act? Is it for the weak minds or the weak spirits? You know, or is it a strong act? You know, more talk about some of the things that leads to the act itself, because first it's the thought, then when the thought becomes overbearing, then the action follows. You know, So I have here with me some points that I really want to bring across. You know, when it comes down to suicide, no, I do not take such a topic light. No, coming from Jamaica, right? Coming from Jamaica, where I'll be honest with you, I love my country, but we tend to look on suicide as a weak act, a very selfish act. So we look upon it as Jamaicans. I don't know why. I'm not speaking for every single Jamaican out there, you know, but majority of we look upon suicide as a selfish act, meaning, me fix the talker phone here. Meaning, we look upon the person who commit suicide as selfish, weak. Because how you do that in life so nice. You know, you're weak. Look how the man go kill himself over one like a gal. Over pom pom. The man go kill himself over gal and bun. Over pom pom. That's how we look upon it. We are taught, and it's sad, because in my country we do not take mental illness seriously. We do not take mental illness seriously. We quick to use the word mad. The boy, they are mad, you know, and we laugh and we gone. See, girl are mad out. The girl left him and him mad. And him gone. And we just ridicule that and gone. We write off that mad. Done with and gone. Not knowing that those words can trigger and push someone right over the edge. They can know that they're battling with things within. But then when you go ahead and point out that, yo, that's somebody that mad, this girl mad, your girl turn you an idiot. That one statement can lead to someone just saying, hey, fuck this life. Fuck this life. But we are getting into it. We're going to get into it. Some of the things that I want to point out really is that based on my research, you know, and these are things that I pulled from popular websites. I refuse to call certain names because we already know how some of these things can get flagged, and I refuse to have that done, right? So one interesting point that I want to elaborate on is 60% of suicide deaths in the US are caused from one shooting his or herself, which means 60% of the suicide rate, or not the suicide rate, but a gun a man use, and which means 60% of suicides within the US are caused by a firearm. Now, me coming to the US, me learn say it's very easy to get a firearm in the US, you know, very easy. And I will not say that I refuse to allow it to be what it is, or I don't stand beside the rights to bear arms, because you need to protect yourself. It's a crazy world out here, you know. You need to protect yourself, however, yourself and your family. No, does everyone that has a firearm is mentally capable of you know, dealing with the stresses of life every day? Maybe not, you know, maybe not. And what happens when the stresses of life and depression and all that becomes way too much, you know, and the firearm is right there? It's an act where it's irreversible. But is it selfish? I really don't think so. I honestly don't think suicide is a very selfish. I do not think it's a selfish act. Because one can reach to the point where they feel like they're causing way too much stress in everybody else's life, added to the stress where life caused upon them. You know, the weight of getting up every day, doing things that you really don't want to do, living a life that you truly don't want to live, living with things that you truly would not want to live with, living in a situation that you truly do not want to live in. So them things that really put strain on the brain. And not everyone will have that willpower to keep pushing. Because honestly, life has become so corrupt. It's very hard to see the real reason to carry on sometimes, especially if you don't have the monetary backing. You know, life has been so surrounded by the ability to spend. No, this has been shifted, strategically shifted, let me say. This was and will be a strategic shift for us to feel like the ones on this earth that do not possess a certain monetary status or a certain financial status, you are less important than the ones that do. And that feeling of chasing that status daily and you cannot reach it, that alone is stress. That alone causes self-doubt, self-esteem, an attack on your self-esteem. Now, if your self-esteem gets attacked, then your self-value also gets attacked. And if your self-value is attacked, then your worthiness gets attacked. So you then feel like you're not worthy to be here anymore. And I'm speaking along this line because I know a lot about being in that place, which we will get into further down. So, and another point that I want to point out is 800,000 people die from suicide every year. 800,000 people die from suicide every year. Seeing, when you do the math, that's one person every 40 seconds die from suicide every year. But because maybe it's not the right way door, you know, we don't know about these statistics, you know. So globally, 9 people per 100,000 died from suicide. That's in 2019. Seeing? Now, running the statistics in 2020, suicide was among the top 9 leading causes of death for people between the ages of 10 to 64. Suicide was the second leading cause of death for people ages 10 to 14 and 25 to 34. No, I pity them, yeah. They might be younger than me. Now you may ask, where one Pitney 10-year-old could have got through for one commit suicide? We're going to pick this apart. And chances are I might have to do a follow-up to this topic and have some people join in, you know, especially those that have overcame the thought of or even dealing with a family member that had committed suicide, you know. It is crazy. It is crazy. And it's a very touchy topic. Very, very, very touchy topic. Now, let me define suicide and then I'll put this paper down because I want to speak on my personal experiences where this is concerned. So suicide is defined by death caused by self-directed, injurious behavior with intent to die as a result of the behavior. Right? A suicide attempt is a non-fatal, self-directed, potentially injurious behavior with intent to die as a result of the behavior. A suicide attempt might not result in injury. Now let me put this paper down. Right? Let me be the one to say, you never know who, when, where. Sometimes the why you may never know, because after the person commits suicide, there's nothing to be said from that person anymore, of course. So will we ever know the true reason if you're never close to the person? Will you ever know the true reason if this person has never expressed? Because a lot of persons that actually go ahead and commit suicide, they're fighting internal battles. And if they don't trust you enough to expose those battles to you, then you may never know. Suicide has no face. A potential suicide victim may never disclose or express any form of suicidal threat or reason to think this person will cause bodily harm to his or herself. You may never know. This can be your best friend, this can be your parent, this can be your partner. You just never know. And that is why I always preach, be kind to yourself and be kind to fucking people around you. You have to, we have to, especially in the black community. We are conditioned to put each other down. We are conditioned to damage each other because we were previously damaged, and it becomes culture now to damage each other by every chance we get. Why the fuck we do that? Why we stay so? We are conditioned. There are so many things we're out here to fight. Like we may out here thinking men fighting against women, women fighting against men. No, it's the system that is against us as a people. It's the system that's against us, not we as people against each other. It's the system that has put us against each other. And the more we fight, right, to carry on these poisonous and toxic behaviors, we then push each other closer and closer to suicide. Believe it or not. Believe it or not, we push each other closer and closer to suicide. A lot of us, and I want you to take this very seriously, a lot of us around here walking now, we are murderers and we don't even know. We are murderers and we don't even know. Verbal murderers. Now, if you know the strength and the power that your word possesses, you will be so careful of how you use them. Right? Your word can build, can change, can damage, can tarnish someone. Now, let me take it to a personal level. I was labeled as a weak person because I refuse, and let me tell you, I refuse to damage someone with my words. I refuse, no matter what somebody try with me. I refuse to return anger. I refuse to. And I've heard some things in this earth, seeing, what could have caused me to think so poorly of myself. But it's when you know within yourself that some people can perceive you some real messed up ways. It's not on you to clarify it. It's not on you. Let them be. Let them be. Because they will only see it how they know it. If life brings them along a journey for them to find out, otherwise, then so be it. Now, a lot of persons are walking around here angry because they are dead spiritually. They're only existing physically. And because they're dead spiritually, they're miserable because there's no connection between the physical and the spiritual. Now there's a fight. One is going that way, the other is going that way. That creates misery. No, that's where the saying that says misery needs company. I think that right there is the perfect example. So a lot of persons walking around here spiritually dead, just waiting on the physical to follow. They need company. So they're walking around here killing people. That's why I say a lot of persons are murderers and don't even know. They are murderers and don't even know, because for you to walk around and wish death on people or create a certain impression of someone, slandering someone's character, doing whatever that could shorten someone's lifespan, setting people up, you're a murderer. Not because you don't walk and pull the trigger, but you doing things and harming someone's spirit. That's you committing homicide. Now, if that person that you're inflicting this spiritual pain on is not savvy, spiritually savvy, to bounce off and protect and ground oneself, it can result in very tragic happenings. Very tragic happenings. So that right there is for all of the one that we are working on and murder people with them words. shorten people's lifespan with them words. Your words are spells. That's why they call it spelling. When you put your letters together, you're spelling a word, right? Your word is a spell. So you can use your words to lift people up. You use your words to cast spells. Now, casting spells doesn't mean negative. You can cast positive spells on people. It's very much evident. I've seen it. But me also see the flip side of it, right? So if you all want to walk on and murder people with the mouth, look into yourself. Chances are it's because you're already dead. Just waiting on the physical to follow. But there is salvation. You can save, you can pause that, you can choose to live again. You can choose to live again by finding peace within. However, you know what I mean? Now let's talk deeper into the suicide act when it comes on to giving up on life. Now let me bring you all closer to my personal experience. I've tried attempting suicide once when I was about 7 or 8 years old. Reason being, I had way too much dealing with. Way too much. I lost my mother when I was 2 years old. And my father try. Respects and love to you, my father. Father try. We don't have the best relationship, no, but my respect remains. My father try. However, growing up as a youth where, I never have a mother. So I got used to seeing other women coming around, trying to play that mother figure. However, a lot of them, they're dead spiritually too. Just looking for a purpose to hold on to life. However, as a youth, my father, as me say, I try to give you a stable home, and, not having that biological mother, it really poses a challenge, And I've had experiences where, as a young youth, 4 or 5 year old, seeing other women and women calling me all type of name, dog, shit, John Crow, in the absence of my father as a youth. I remember one of my father partners, she cook and everything, and I used to tell my father, say, that woman and I like me. That woman and I like me. I used to ball, man. As a young boy, man, I tell you about. I used to go in my room and cry in my pillow. I beg. I used to beg for my life to be taken as a child. I used to beg because I was going through so much. They feel lonely, never have a mother for run to. All of them women away come around, all of the females who come around to try to be a mother figure. They only came around because they wanted my father, whether they wanted money or him dick. One of the two. But then they pretended to be okay with me in his presence, but when I'm gone, it's a whole different ballgame. One of them actually beat me. Now imagine don't have a mother and a strange woman come beat you. Yeah, man. They used to call me dog and drunker, man. So the lady cook for me, and when she share up my food, she just fling it down on the table and, can you eat the food, dog shit? Can you eat the food, drunker? And I can call a name. But if this video ever reached to the lady, I've forgiven you. I've forgiven you because I had to forgive myself. I've forgiven you. I don't hold no grudges against nobody. But that was at a very tender age. So I had that to deal with. No. Along with not having a home. I have to do so much for my own. My father did have to go work. So I have to learn to cook and wash and clean by the age of 6. You know what I mean? Wash, cooking and all that. That never feel pressuring. It's just the fact that I never had an outlet. I never have one outlet. You know what I mean? Give thanks to the strangers that will take me and have me in them place, like feed them own pitney. Rest in peace, Mama Jane and Miss Fear. Love on Monica, me love on Uno make me know life. Now, at the age of 7, I attempted suicide. I wrote a letter to my father telling him that I see where I am a stress factor in his life. I see where dealing with me and trying to keep up with me, him going to work. My father just never did a balance, yo. It never did a work out. Like me, I don't know if from then time I was an empath, when I could have feel the man's stress. So right then and there, as a youth, me feel like I just never wanted to be a stress for my father. So I felt like the best thing to do right there is just to take my life away out of this whole equation. Take myself out away from the equation. And in all honesty, I climb up on my neighbor tree, put the rope around my neck and I jump. And when I jump, the branch where the rope upon pop. I'm gonna drop right at going, I cry. When I tell you, I bawl, I weep. And that crying right there allowed me to see life on a different level. It's as if some demons did just escape out of my vessel and gone. And one person of my neighbor yard did know that, because she did hear me ball out and she run come out and she hugged me and squeeze me. And that was at the age of 7 or 8, thereabout. Now when I read some of these statistics and I realize that kids from the age of 10 contemplate suicide, I empathize. Because I know what that can feel like. And now when we look on adults doing some of these things, it's just that they feel like they're a burden. They're a burden to those around them. They feel like they're a failure. They feel like them failing everything with them do. Because they're surrounded by verbal murderers. People want to lift up them spirit. People would beat them down every chance them get. No matter what you do, it's not good enough. And that feeling can make you want to give up. Now fast forward, after going through all that in my life, losing some very, very close people to me, still a day out here, still there, I try to hold on to life. Still I try, give. Because I do hold on to the fact that I have a passion and I have a purpose on this earth. Because I've escaped death a few times. You know what I mean? I do have a purpose on this earth, and my aim now is just to give it. Now, let me bring you closer to the most recent times when I've contemplated suicide once more. And I can tell you, it's a very fucking dark place. Dark, bad. Like, it's literally a dark place. Mentally, there's no light within your head. No light. There's no face where I'll see where I gonna stop you from doing this. It's like a whole thing take you over and you don't know how to escape it. No, in 2019 December, I lost my first child. I lost my first child, my true love. My true love. Now, I've been battling with life and everything, come right up to when she was born. She was my life change. She still is my life change. You get me? Ray Marie, the love of my life, my daughter, my mother reincarnated. After being so confused about life, so iffy, she gave me a purpose to live, a purpose to feel love and give love unconditionally. No, she was sent here, and then she was called home at the age of 11. That's December 2019. I will go deeper into that experience in another episode, but I just want to bring you guys to where I can say I had the support. The physical support was there from a lot of friends. The spiritual, the emotional support was also present from a lot of friends and family, people I hold dearly to my heart. People fly from places just to make sure I see them dead. People would have to sleep on my shoulder because I'm so used to my daughter sleeping on my shoulder. My cousin them, they have to sleep on my shoulder in for me could I go sleep. I was drunk every night. I was high every night. Me smoke and drink like nothing. No, let me bring you to the day. I think it was a Sunday or a Monday evening or Tuesday, one of them. I was sitting around I sit around my family yard. You know, I was sitting in a chair, my brother there beside me, Randy. Love you, no youth. My little brother sit down beside me and I sit down there and I literally sit down and I watch all of my little cousins them play around me. I see my other cousin them share out breakfast, I make sure I eat. The whole thing, my little brother I sit beside me. Now let me take you through what happened there. What happened there is I see everything will happen around me, but the light was diminishing. The light was disappearing slowly. The light, the purpose was disappearing slowly. Meaning I'm seeing everyone thinking what I'm thinking in my head. I look at everyone and I say, look here. Bye bye, I tell them, you know. I was telling them bye and nobody never know. So the sounds, the noise that they were making, playing, it becomes so distant in my mind. So spiritually, I was leaving that space. Mentally, I was also leaving that space. Physically, nobody could tell. Nobody could tell. Is my little brother turn around and look at me and say, "Oh, you good?" I'm a snap. I want to burst. A cry, a tear, bawling, a weeping took place again. Like my brother's voice just say, "Yo, you good?" I'm a snap out of it. Cause me literally tell myself, say, first chance me get, me gonna kill myself. Cause life is no longer worth living without my daughter. I can tell you that. So suicide is not a selfish act. It is an act where you feel like there's no other purpose for you on earth. I'm not talking about the ones where do what them need for to kill somebody else and kill themselves after. Because that itself, you know, it's a different topic. Now I empathize with those persons that actually decided to go ahead and excuse themselves from this life. Whatever the reason may be, it is a sad, sad, sad reality. But until you've been hit so hard, sometimes you will never understand why someone would decide to go ahead with the act of committing suicide. Now it's very alarming that between the years of 2019 to now, we've heard a lot more, and I think it's being downplayed strategically again, you know, to somewhat contribute to their narratives and their syllabus of where they want life to be. Let those with eyes see, let those with ears hear. I don't have to explain everything. But seeing how depression has really become a thing, you can never tell the time, the place of when somebody decides that this is just too much. No, we need to, as a people, understand that people have different coping mechanisms. I, for one, sometimes I shut down, I don't talk. Take myself out of a situation just to go recharge. And I implore you, if you feel like you need to leave a situation for however long you want to, just to find back your footing, do it. Do it without explanation. Come what may, do it without explanation. Do it without explanation. If you anything you think you need to do for yourself soulfully, you don't have to explain shit to nobody. If you feel like something or someone is pushing you over the edge, pull your fucking self away from the equation and go take time for yourself to find back your footing. And don't explain shit to nobody. You are important to you first. Now, one of the leading reasons why I say people out here feeling a lack of self-worth is because we're comparing. Social media plays a very integral role in a lot of these spiritual deaths that we're seeing, because you're comparing all these top celebrities and top flight people making all this type of money, and you can't make this money, you not make this money. What wrong with you? You're worthless. Then you have your partner craving a certain lifestyle that you cannot give, then makes you feel even more worthless. So my take on that is, find who is for you and be with that person. Be with that person. If you can't find that person, be with yourself until that person shows up. Stop try to kill yourself out here and try to live a certain life that you cannot keep up with. You're killing yourselves, or we're killing ourselves with a lot of these harmful practices. Eating these sterilized foods, ingesting these toxic music, low frequency music is shortening our lifespan. We need to read more and research more and focus, because everything is right in front of us, everything. They just hide it strategically because they know it won't look that place. There's a lot more I could have expounded on. Lot more. But I think I will need to have a follow-up on this, because just bringing myself back through certain motion, it got me to a place just now where it is crazy how people can't just let things roll off their tongue like, that's a fucked up move. How could you kill yourself? How you do that? How you do that? You know, love way. How you break with heart? How dare you? How dare you? Because we may never truly understand what someone is going through. That's why it's very important for us to just be kind. Be kind. And be very cognizant of how we take on to the pressures of life. Let frustration not be a choice. Be present-minded. Practice whatever brings you life and brings you joy and brings you peace. Hold on to it. Hold on to it. Whether it be nature, shopping, anything that you think brings you peace, makes you feel calm, do not give a fuck about what nobody else thinks about your practices. Once it brings you spiritual peace and spiritual balance, don't worry about people, because not everybody depend on them own journey. Some people just look at journey if you copy and follow. Get me? Stay steadfast in yours. Now I just really want to say my condolences goes out to anyone and everyone that will take the time out to listen to this podcast and you've dealt with suicide, whether it's in your family, in your love life, or you yourself contemplated suicide even once. I just want to say you are loved. Your purpose has not yet been fulfilled. Stay here, find out what your purpose is and give it. Just give it. Give it unconditionally. That's what life is. Don't let the system trick you into thinking you should be receiving. Every day of your life, receiving. Find your passion and give it. Then you will see your true purpose comes alive right in front of you. And just ignore the distractions. You are loved. If you out there we are contemplating suicide, talk to somebody. Talk to somebody. Because especially men, yo, we need to learn to talk. We need to learn to talk. You know, whether it be your partner, whether it be one therapist, whether it be just anyone who can listen actively. And queens, females, ladies, some of you all need to learn how to listen. Not just right through. Some of you all really need to practice the art of listening. Because no found no knows that uno killing a man too. Uno killing a man. Men are, I think it was 60 or 70% more likely to commit suicide than a woman. Because we were not taught how to deal with our emotions. And then sometimes we end up in situations with the wrong female that only know how to add salt to injury. They don't know how to open up. They don't know nothing about nurturing. They just know how to inflict. But then when you think about it, she could be the result of dealing with a past broken man. Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening. Don't think I can go any further right now. But I had to get this one off my chest. Get me? So, as I said, there will be a follow-up where I would add people to the entire episode then, so I could have more insights from other people. Thank you for listening. This has been episode 4, and I'll catch you next week. You are loved, and you are love. Hold on to life. Hold on to life. Can get tough. Can get very tough. But I promise you, once you align, yours is coming. Just align. It will come. It will come. Do not give up on life. Talk to someone. Talk to someone. And if you're not at a place where you need to talk to anyone, listen to someone. Listen to somebody. You may just end up saving someone's life. We all need each other. But most importantly, you need you. My name is Reynard Bryan. Catch you again next week. Blessed. Love.
Dose of substance. Let us hit you with a dose of